So with regards to short failure, I'm going to quickly demonstrate very quickly on this, okay? I'm not going to do the actual thing, but I'm going to show you how it should look, alright? So when you come down, so you're doing an incline press up, you come down, you go 9, 10, 11, and 12. But in actual fact, I could do 3 more 15. 1, 2, and that would be this would be my failure, okay? That would be my absolute failure of 15 reps, but I'm actually stopping at 12, so that's how it should look. You might feel at the beginning, oh, you know, it's not, it doesn't feel super hard, but if you do 3 or 4 sets of that, you probably find you're gonna have a nice bit of soreness the next day, and you're not going to be super sore, really painful. Okay, so it's really important for you beginners is to use that short of failure principle when you're learning how to work out. So now what I'm going to talk about is you sort of intermediate gym goers, the ones that go to the gym fairly regularly. You're not beginners anymore. You're kind of to get at the intermediate stage. So for you intermediate guys, okay, we're talking about failure right now. So when you start coming up the ladder, you go 7, 8, 9 starts to get a bit harder. Obviously that'll be where you would stop normally. 10, 11, and then 12 would be the way you go, but you literally cannot do anymore. You cannot lift that weight anymore, okay? And that's where you fail right there. Okay, that's going to be really important for you to make an adaptation. Now, I should be warning here, if you're doing things like squats and deadlifts, you probably, unless you're pretty experienced, don't want to be going to absolute failure for those exercises because it's very dangerous. If you start whacking to failure on a deadlift or a barbell squat, or even a bench press for that matter, if you can't lift that last rep, you're going to get stuck at the bottom, okay? So try and get a spotter or use a squat rack or a rack, and be really careful when you go into failure because when that last rep you might not be able to get up, and if you're stuck at the bottom and that's your failure and you can't get up, then you're going to be in a bit of trouble, right? So really important. So yes, if you got everything set up right and you got a spotter and you're happy, you can go to failure. Things like bicep curls and tricep extensions, shoulder raises, whatever, go to failure, absolutely fine. But be really careful with this one failure because it's gonna potentially make you quite sore and you could be quite dangerous to do it wrong. But with muscle adaptation, failure is a really good target to hit for if you're a beginner coming into intermediate, and it's going to do it's going to put so much load on the muscle that it's going to be able to recover and adapt providing your nutrition is intact and eating enough protein, all those other good stuff. But that's for you intermediate guys, and that's failure. So again, I'll just demonstrate with this with a press up bar. Okay, so when I come into failure, 9, 10, 11, we're going to start getting hard. So we're 9, 10, 11, and that last one is I'm going to be absolutely struggling to get that last one up. Okay, that's going to be pretty much the failure. With that number 12, I'm not going to be able to do 13. It's just going to be too difficult for me, and that's going to be how your failure is going to look. So the next part is going to be going through failure, and that's going to be really good for you guys that are pretty much comfortable in your current workout going to failure, and you need to go further on through. Okay, and that's going to be, so the weights you're going to pick now, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you one little technique called a rest pause to push you through failure, just to you push yourself and challenge yourself and try and push those adaptations through. So come up there, it's a bit small, sorry, but anyway, looking through failure, okay? So if you're somebody that goes to the gym quite regularly and you really need to mix up your workouts, you're not getting the same sort of kind of challenges that you're going for, then the weight you're going to pick is going to be something to push you through failure. So you pick a weight and then you're going to get to your failure point. So as I just showed you on the press up, 10, 12 is your failure. But actually what you want to try and do is push yourself further, okay? You can do one of two ways. You can either pick a lighter weight, so if you say let's do a bench press, you go the last one, 11, 12 is the last one, put the weights down, pick up a light weight about 25% less than what you were doing, and then keep on repping out until you go to failure again. And then obviously what you've done then is obviously you've gone to failure on one, and you've lightened the weight, and you're really pushing your muscles as far as they can, and really fatiguing. Or another way to do it is called a rest pause set, where you do your 12, put it down. I like to rest for the same amount of reps I've just done. So if I've done 12 reps, I will rest for 12 seconds, load it back up, and then push out for as many as I can do. and it'll probably be about three or four extra maybe, and then you stop and then you rest and you move on to the next set. So obviously you're failing at 12, you're either going to rest, pause, or lighten the weight, and then you're going to keep pushing through for a new failure set point. So you go into failure twice, and what that's going to do is going to put lots of stress on the muscle, and it's going to cause you to obviously break down the muscle tissue, which hopefully is going to make the muscles adapt to the new load and the new stress. So they come back, they grow, and they get bigger, and obviously you get bigger and improve over time. So quickly, I'll just demonstrate on the bar again. So let's just say I'm going to fail. So 9, 10, 11, 12 is my failure. Then all I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to rest, count it out 12 seconds, shake it all out, come back down, and then just do 1, 2, or as many as I can do after that. Or I could potentially lift the bar up for this one and push a bit higher. And that's going to push me through my failure set point. So with regards to how much weight you use, it's really individualized. Okay, I can't tell you to lift. For you watching this, you're going to lift a bench press for 20 kilos, and that's going to be 12 reps. You need to go by how the rep feels, and you need to go by you pick a rep range depending on your goals, and that number that you hit needs to be challenging. Like I said, if you're a beginner, you want to stop just short of that, okay, that weight. So, potentially your failure point's going to be 15, but you're going to stop at 12. If you're a bit more in the middle and you're a bit more experienced in the gym, by all means go to failure, but be careful on certain exercises just so you don't get hurt. And then if you're even more experienced, or even if you just want to mix it up, go through failure, pick a rest, pause, or do a drop set, and see how you feel. They're all going to give you very different feelings the next day, and you're going to feel what's working and what isn't for you. So in regards to how much weight you use, really dependent on your goals, dependent on the rep ranges you use, but ultimately you need whatever rep you change, whether it's 1 to 5, 6 to 8, you need to be near around about failure for that rep range. So like I say, if you're going to do a 20 rep squats or bench press or press ups, that 18, 19, 20 needs to be difficult. If you just say you can go to 30, you probably want to be increasing the weight a little bit to bring you back down to failing at about 20. So like if you start in your first set, let's say you're doing bench press and 12 reps is your number, and you bang out and you do 20, and you could probably do, when you max out at 20, you probably want to be lifting the weight up for the next set, just to bring you back down to that anything between 12 rep range basically. So like I said, how much weight do you use depending on your goals, depending on what you can do that day, and depending on your experience in the gym. So hopefully that covered that off. If it didn't, leave a question below. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a subscribe, really appreciate it. Like and share would be awesome, and a comment if you've got any questions, like I said. And obviously if you've if you know somebody that may benefit from that, or you've been asked a question, then obviously this is going to be the answer. Really appreciate you share as well. So like I said guys, start fresh. If you don't make a change today, how will tomorrow be different? Cheers.